The most important person in the whole wide world is you, and you hardly even know you. The most important person in the whole wide world is you. Come on, we'll show you. Let's find out more about the things you feel and do, 'cause you're the most important person in the world to you.
Hello, 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 and welcome to One for All is Love with Sonya Spirit. And I am Sonya Spirit, and we have an exciting episode today. So today's episode is titled Intermittent Stillness, or is. So we are going to discuss making isness our business and what that entails. Okay. Now, of course, isness, intermittent stillness. And basically what that is focusing on throughout the day, throughout the course of your day, regardless of what your day is comprised of. You will find pockets of time in which you basically become still, and you will practice this stillness. It should be a part of your meditation practice or your routine, your daily routine in the morning. It doesn't require a lot of time. It's kind of like when I used to say you could still a moment in the bathroom. But throughout the course of your day, you want to find time, okay, on your break. When you go to the bathroom, when you're having a moment of maybe stress or pressure, anxiety, a feeling of being overwhelmed, all of these are good opportunities to just stop, okay, to be still. And this is all a part of this, okay? And you want to practice the stillness. Now, and stillness is not, it won't be instantaneous. You know, you'll work with just trying to get some silence, just to be able to relax. Okay, so when the time comes, you will just be able to put yourself in a position where you can fall into a stillness upon your will. Okay, and you want to do this throughout your day, the course of your day. Now, this isn't just about alleviating stress or anxiety or pressure or anything like that. However, it is a tool for that, so it can be used for that. However, the purpose is to connect with the oneness, to be in oneness. It's almost like recharging yourself, okay, and just staying in harmony, okay, not being a sidetracked, because many of us do work outside the home, and many of us do encounter people, strangers or different people on a regular basis. So these are tools for those instances, particularly when you have characteristics that you might need to work on in terms of being patient or compassionate or understanding. It's almost like a woo-saw, moment, but it's instead of just releasing stress, pressure, or anything like that, you are actually focusing on actually oneness, being in oneness, receiving that inspiration, just being in oneness, being in a receptive mode. Okay. Well, anyway, that's kind of touching on what I will talk about today or discuss. So yeah, intermittent stillness, which is the isness. Okay. Just being. And allowing your body, particularly in the morning. Now, when you're doing it intermittently throughout the day, you try to get as comfortable as you can in that particular situation. If you're in a bathroom stall, there will be limitations to how comfortable you can become in that type of environment. But you get what I'm saying. You get where I'm going with this. Okay, so just try to get as comfortable as you can in a particular environment. Because as far as oneness is concerned, don't be distracted, okay? When you are on this path, you're not allowing yourself to be distracted with everything that is not ideal. That's what intermittent stillness is all about. You will, your focus is to connect, to be in oneness, to be in nowness, or isness, just to be, and not thinking about anything, not wishing or willing for anything, not creating anything. Just be open and receptive in harmony. So that's what we want to practice. Okay, is that intermittent stillness, and it has a lot of practicalities. It helps us stay focused throughout the day on what's really important. And we realize or recognize that a lot of things which occur, it's not that it's not important, but it's not the value that we hang on it. It's in terms, most of the time, it's, our perspective is it's a horrific experience, or, we're aggravated, annoyed, frustrated, whatever the adverse feeling or emotion that's provocated from the situation. You want to flip all that, okay? And we can do that. And we will do that, and this is what we're working on, So in the first year, it was a lot about know thyself, and it's still about know thyself. But like I said, this year, this second cycle, it'll be, we'll focus more on application, okay? Application. So we'll still talk about principles, but how we are applying these principles and why we are applying them. Okay, because that's equally as significant. Why? When we understand why we do something, it helps us or motivates us or encourages us or supports us to continue to move forward. Okay, to continue to explore the unknown, the possibilities, the beauty of life. Okay, so, if you look at the the contents for this particular episode, we're going to talk about intermittent silence and stillness. Like I said, stillness is really when you get to the oneness. Silence is working your way up to it, just being still, being relaxed. If you can just do that, particularly if you are, like I said, if you are in places where you can't become totally comfortable, just try to become relaxed and clear, take 3 deep breaths. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Take 3 deep breaths. And try to relax yourself as much as you can. Regardless if it's just for 60 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Relax. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Close your eyes. See nothing. Okay? And so part of this practice, so part of this practice is working on seeing yourself, when we talk about experiences, but seeing yourself as the observer and the participant. Okay? We have that capability, which is interesting because when I was just things were passing through my on my radar, so to speak, okay, or on across my consciousness, and one was The Power of Now, which is by Eckhart Tolle, and You are not your mind. You are not your mind. And I thought about that, and I was like, oh, that fits well with the observer and participant. While we have consciousness, while we have the power of consciousness, the power to create, you know, it, it is not all of who and what we are. You know, just like God just is not reduced to just consciousness. But anyway, um, but so you are not your mind. You are more than that. So if you can recognize that you can be the observer and participant in an experience, so you can observe yourself, and oftentimes we'll do this immediately. Of course, it's hindsight, so we're not doing it simultaneously, but we're doing it immediately, like afterwards. A situation which we felt like, oh, I should have did this instead of that, you know. So immediately hindsight tells us, oh, we should have handled it a certain way. Now, if you can catch yourself just a few seconds earlier, then you can observe yourself and know, okay, listen, I know how I would ordinarily handle this, but that's not how I'm going to handle it this time. I'm going to choose a different route. So becoming, like I said, the observer and the participant, it allows you to make better decisions. It allows you to respond versus react. Remember, we're all in this together. You know, further down the stream, as far as the content of this episode, I talk about, you know, there is no separation, and there is no separation. So, you know, everything is connected. Everything is. I was going somewhere else with this, but I lost my train of thought. So I'll continue on. But anyway, getting back to, you are not your mind. You are more than that. So yes, you can be the observer and the participant. So, because we are all in this realm of consciousness, or this ring of consciousness, or this circle or cycle of consciousness, okay, this ring, I like to call it almost, or stream, but it's a circular stream of consciousness. This is how I get sidetracked when I want to emphasize. Excuse me. Yeah, so when we're in the stream of consciousness, yeah, I lost it again, but it'll come back to me. So yeah, we can be the observer and both the participant, because whatever, you know, what we put out there comes back to us. So anyway, that's not where I was going with this, but it'll come back to me. Okay, so but yes, all of our actions have consequences. Okay, what does consequences mean? It means for every action, remember, okay, the universe is both dynamic and orderly. So for every action, every choice that we make, every action that we do or not do, in whatever energy we project, okay, it has consequences, which means it comes with a sequence of other actions. Remember, we're all in this together. So whatever decision I make, a choice I make, it has an effect, like the butterfly effect. It has an effect around the world, okay? The butterfly that flaps his wing in Japan or knocks down a tree or whatever, I forgot how it goes. But yes, so everything is connected. That's what it boils down to. Everything is connected. Okay, so when I say with consequences, I don't mean it in a negative way. Okay, that's just one perspective. Consequences just means there is a series of actions that will also take place as a result of that decision. So it doesn't matter what the decision is. It doesn't matter what the choice is. Each one has its own series of consequences. It has its own series of activities that will take place and affect other people, and other people will act on that information or that action or that energy, okay? Whether they're cognizant of it or not. That's the dynamic aspect of So it's important to become the observer and the participant. It's important to not react and become more responsive. Our actions are more measured, okay? They're more thoughtful, more mindful, okay? More harmonious, okay? So yeah, that's where I'm going with that. As far as, so there's a reason why we want to be both the observer and participant, because it's up to us to modify our behavior. We are responsible for our own behavior. We are responsible for our own actions. We are responsible for our own choices. We are responsible for our reality, because our choices, our actions, okay, come with con. Con means with sequences, other activity that will take place as a result of the initial cause. Okay. Which is what karma is, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so harmony and faith. We're going to talk about harmony and faith. And a lot of information came to me about harmony and faith. And it's so interesting because I've been like meditating on harmony and faith for a while, more so to integrate it, okay? To integrate it. You know, I want my faith to be absolute. You know, I want it to be resolute. You know, it cannot be moved, immovable, okay? And at the same time, I want to flow with harmony, flow in harmony. Okay, so, and flowing in harmony is service, is being receptive to the will of God, being receptive to the energy of nature, being in that flow of nature. Okay, so faith and harmony. You know, I mean, and okay, sorry, I'm so excited. Like I said, it's just a lot of inspiration's been coming to me. The universe is oh so good. But the thing about it is, and I don't want to say but the thing about it is, everything starts with you. You know, like I said, for me, this podcast is it keeps me on track. It keeps me on my path, and you know, I recognize that I've never wanted to record the show. I love the live broadcast because I want to go with whatever energy I am feeling, whether it's, you know, at the hour of the show or earlier that day, the energy I might feel when I'm meditating early in the morning. But I want the show to be natural and harmonious, or as harmonious as I can express it, you know, trying to flow with harmony. Okay, so anyway, I digress. But faith and harmony is, we'll get into that if time willing. Feeling of oneness, okay? Not just focusing on oneness. You know, now when we start out, particularly for those who are more intellectual, okay, or logical or rational, or reasonable, you got to get in touch with those feelings. So the concept of oneness is great to think about it, to meditate on it, and try. But to integrate it requires the feeling of oneness. You know, to integrate that feeling. So you want to experience it. That's what the feeling of oneness is. It's experiencing oneness. So there's a, you know, you can start out, if you're a cerebral person, you can start out, you know, intellectualizing the concept of oneness, but eventually you are going to have to embody it. You will have to feel it, experience it. Okay, and that may take time, and time, of course, just depends on how quickly you can, you know, transition from one concept to another. Can you get past the intellectual or the concept of oneness and getting into the being of oneness, the experience of oneness, the connection of oneness. And like I say, it can be as fast or as slow as you transform. And you have power over that as well. And the more often you practice focusing your energy on, being strong, being focused, being positive, being creative, being submissive to God, being of service. Okay, so anyway, let go, let God. You've heard it. It's one of those little corny sayings, but there is so much truth to it. Let go, let God is all about forgiveness. Let go of the baggage. What are you holding on to? Listen, we don't hold on to the experience. We learn the lesson, discard the experience. Learn and grow, then let it go. Learn and grow, then let it go. One more time. Learn and grow, then let it go. Let go of that traumatic experience. Yes, for some it is easier said than done, but work at it. Don't make excuses. There's, of course, a million reasons why it's hard, but put forth the effort. You put forth the effort, trust me, the universe will work with you to dissipate this energy. If you choose to understand, to learn the lesson, and let go of the experience. So, okay, so let go and let God. That's about forgiveness, whether it's of oneself, of one's experience. It may forgiveness of others. You may feel a certain type of way about religion or God or the universe or spirituality. Let it go. All of it. It doesn't matter who did you wrong. That was your experience. That was supposed to happen. And if it's happened to you more than once, that means you didn't learn your experience. Experience. Learn, grow, elevate your frequency, and your experiences become greater, richer, more vibrant. When we don't learn our lesson, we basically bask at that level. And bask, it doesn't have a positive connotation at that level. We're hovering. Bask is more inviting. But we're hovering at that level. Or we're lost at that level. You can call it hovering or you can call it being lost at that level. Because we're not learning and growing and going forth or going up, elevating our frequency. Remember, all experiences cannot occur on all levels, on all frequencies, on all levels of consciousness. So it is your responsibility to elevate your consciousness. It's your responsibility, it's my responsibility to grow my consciousness, to expand my awareness. And be of service. It's not just enough to, learn and grow, but to be of service. Part of the growing is, part of the harmony, in my opinion, is being of service. But so is part of growing. It's being of service. Okay. So flow with nature. Be with nature. Be nature. So I'm having all these thoughts, and then of course, I run across some videos, and it's like, oh wow, Taoism. Taoism is basically faith and harmony. I was like, I think I like this. And it's interesting because that's, a lot of, I didn't do a whole lot of reading. Like I said, I just came across like videos and it was like, okay. It emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao. Tao is the origin and law of all things in the universe. So, Tao could be God, universe, prana, whatever name that you would like to apply to it. But it's a Chinese philosophy that the absolute principle underlying the universe, combining within itself the principles of yin and yang and signifying the way, or code of behavior that is in harmony with the natural order. Or you can be like, universal laws. Okay, universal laws. Tao would be, universal law number one, the mind is all. Okay, even though, Eckhart totally says you are not your mind. Like I said, I don't have a problem with that because there are places where I can apply that. But, and then, it goes on to say, as far as combining it with itself, the principles of yin and yang, that's like the law of gender, and signifying the way, which is almost like cause and effect, a code of behavior, which is everything else, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, and that is in harmony with the natural order. So, which is all of it. All of the universal laws are in harmony with natural order. It goes back, that's the order. That's the systemic part of God. The orderly part. I said God is both the universe. God is both dynamic and orderly, and and that's it. So, the dynamic aspect is free will, is choice. But remember, every choice that one makes, and see, of course, we can't even fathom how that works. In our mind, we have multiple quantum universes. We couldn't even just imagine that, each soul, no matter what decision that they make, that every decision just, the consequences. If you think about like supercomputers, based on what if statements, what if, choices, blah, 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 the decision box, things like that. And all of these processes, it takes place, I don't even know what's smaller than a nanosecond, but anyway, you get the point. We can't fathom something like that, and of course, this is all speculation on my behalf. Excuse me. But reading more about Taoism, it's about oneness, it's about balance, which is harmony, cyclical growth, life cycles. There is growth, there is death, and then there is rebirth. Of course, energy is not created nor destroyed; it is merely transformed. And that's the life cycle, the cyclical growth. But it's also about learning, and from a human standpoint, a human consciousness standpoint. It's also about learning and growing and elevating. Think of the ladder. I think it was a couple of episodes ago, whatever. But think about a ladder firmly planted on the ground that extends, that leans far up. It's self-sustaining, no ropes, no nothing. It's self-sustaining. It leans all the way up into the sky through the clouds, like when you're in an airplane and the clouds are all below you. But we're on the ground, so it extends through the clouds, and we can't see its end. And as far as we're concerned, there is no end. But we're on the ground. Okay, and on the ground, we are, at the bottom of the ladder is ignorance and insecurity. And at the very top, or way past our line of view, is I am. So it's still an I, but at the top of the ladder is I am. And we presume there's a top, but we cannot see where the ladder extends. It goes past the clouds. But at wherever it ends, it is I am. And at the bottom where we're at, it is ignorance and insecurity, which is the opposite of faith and harmony. And each rung on this ladder elevates our consciousness, introduces us to new experiences that further our growth and development, and raises our frequency, allows us to climb another rung where there are new experiences, new energetic experiences that will continue to teach us and help us learn and grow. And as we learn and grow, we continue up and we move away from ignorance and insecurity. And we move towards I am. I am that I am. Exodus 3:14. So this is why it is imperative to be an observer and the participant in experiences. We're accustomed to being the participant. For many of us, experiences are happening to us. Oh, I'm a victim. No, you're not. This is your learning opportunity. And if it is painful or traumatic, the more intense the lesson. Or the stronger the attribute is that you must refine. Okay? But I lost the train of thought. But getting back to it. But I really did lose my train of thought. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, but getting back to experiences, nothing happens to us. They are for our benefit. We have to be able to perceive that. We have to perceive the lesson, the growth opportunity, the beauty, the benefit of that experience. That that opportunity to gain another rung, to elevate our frequency, to move us further away or further out of ignorance and insecurity, which is just a lack of self-knowledge and fear. And fear exists because of a lack of self-knowledge. That's why it's called ignorance and insecurity. They go hand in hand. As you learn about yourself, you have nothing to fear, because not only do you know who you are, you know who and what God is. And faith. Okay, let's keep going. And faith. Okay, so experience. That's why it's imperative. Like I said, we are accustomed to being the participant. Now we have to practice, exercise, apply being the observer in our experiences, so that we can choose the correct response. We don't want to react impulsively, emotionally, erratically, impulsively. I think I already said that. Okay. So, yes, that's why that is imperative. So, and then we ask ourselves, when we have experiences and, I don't know what the lesson is. I don't know how much. Okay, well, what have I learned from this experience? What have I learned about myself? What have I learned about me? What is my lesson in this experience? How do I learn and grow from this experience? expand my awareness, consciousness, and elevate my frequency and attract greater experiences. This is what experience is about. Expanding the awareness of the conscious, elevating the frequency, and attracting greater experiences, richer experiences, more rewarding experiences. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. And that cycle, if you think of it like a little turning wheel, that cycle helps us up the ladder. It helps us gain another rung. Remember, I said when you pass in this life, listen, you don't want to come back in the next incarnation at the level that you're at now. You don't want to be stuck here. I know I don't want to, listen, and who knows what it's going to be. I don't want to be stuck here. So a part of that, me not wanting to be stuck here, I realized that, yes, we have the power to create, but, we get in our own way when we start trying to dictate our own desires. I want this, I want that. And you can have this, you can have that. I'm not judging. I'm just saying what I want to focus on. For me, it is about the faith and the harmony and being in harmony and not creating what I want. I want to be in the flow. Listen, because with faith, God takes care of you. And when you're in the flow, you are of service. You are available to do God's work, whatever that is. And, the whole oneness is, like for me, flushing out the attitude, the negative, well, not really negativity, but the attitude. But, yeah, I guess it's negativity. It's negative energy. It's not any energy that I want to, host. So, yes, things like that. Okay. All right, so use your desire. Use your desire to benefit. You know what? I think I did my time wrong for I did 90 minutes again for the show. I can't do 90 minutes. Okay, because I'm like, wow, I still have 52 minutes to go. I felt like I've been talking a lot. And, yeah, I did it for 90 minutes. My bad. Okay. Okay, so anyway. So my apologies for anyone who thought the show was going to be 90 minutes long. I will be done at 5:30 just because I have another commitment. All right, so let's pick up the pace here because we actually have 22 minutes. Okay, so so use your desire to benefit your journey. So these are, once again, these are thoughts that come to mind, and this is a tool. So we, of course, it's natural to desire. So don't try to not desire something. Okay? Now and well, yeah. God is about desire. God desires to create. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. And everything we can see and experience, and it wouldn't be here either. So God is all about creativity. God is all about desiring. Okay? It's how, remember, nothing is good or bad. It is the application. It is the intention. So with desire, let's use desire to benefit ourselves on our journey. Okay? So wish for availability throughout the day for intermittent stillness. Okay? Crave absolute faith. Desire to flow as and in and with harmony. Okay, that's how you take the natural God-given gifts. Do not deny yourself desire. Just apply it appropriately. Because when we deny ourselves, we're creating a resistance. And resistance, once again, is not in the flow of harmony. And resistance create all kinds of impediments, and it has effects. Okay, so we want to get back into the flow of harmony. So don't create a resistance. Don't create a resistance. So use desire to help you grow, to help you be in oneness, to help you be in nowness. That was Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. You are not your mind. The present moment is all we have. And acceptance of what is. So let's talk about that a little bit. Acceptance of what is. So the present moment is all we have. So when we when we are thinking, okay, I said use the desire to better yourself. Use that quality, that characteristic, that power to help you, to propel you forward on your spiritual journey, to submit to God's will, to be of service. But getting back to the power of now, so he says the present moment is all we have. So of course there's also where we have a tendency to live in the past. Remember, people entertain 12 to 60,000 thoughts a day. Of those 60,000 thoughts, 95% of them are repetitive. Of those 60,000 thoughts, 80% are negative. Okay? The repetitive means basically we're living in the past. Okay? So if you catch yourself dwelling in the past, use it to your advantage. The same way you're going to use desire to your advantage. If you find yourself dwelling in the past, you catch yourself dwelling in the past, think, as soon as you catch yourself, think about this. Think about how much you have grown since then. So whatever negative thing you might be, entertaining or, bantering around in your mind, shift it. Think about how much you have grown from your past, okay? And rein yourself back into the present, the here, the now, okay? And focus your energy on the nowness. The nowness. And what are you feeling right now? Where is your frequency right now? Frequency check. Call it a freak check. Freak is short for frequency, but freak check. Yes. What is the freak check? Freak check. And check your frequency. Look, are you elevating at, are you not necessarily elevating, but is your frequency at a level that will invite negative responses, or are you at a level where negative responses can operate, can express themselves? Because if you are, then yes, you need to change your frequency. Okay? And those are the tips and tricks. So how do you change your frequency? For me, I used to say that I would just say, certain words: faith, harmony, love, truth, and wisdom. And I would just, create a star in my mind with those 5 words until I just started feeling them, until I started smiling, until whatever temporary hold stress had on me dissipated. And the more often I practice it, the faster stress would go away, to the point now where things don't affect me. Certain things don't affect me anymore. And I've noticed that because, like when I said, you reflect on, look how far I've grown. Okay. So yeah, so don't beat yourself up. Don't like I said, when you catch yourself doing something, just use it to your benefit. Apply it in a productive way. Okay? Apply it in a productive way. Help. Okay. And that will, you got to spend time thinking about it. Workshops are great. Being exposed to new ideas and new tips and tools and techniques are great. I'm all for that. Collecting information is great, but remember, we are creatures of duality. So it takes two. So knowledge is only half the battle. The other half, or knowledge is only half of wisdom. The other half is application. So, yes, having the right knowledge is important. Applying the right knowledge appropriately is wisdom, is imperative to growth. And if you don't get it the first time, don't worry, it's coming back again. That's what we keep saying. That's what everyone keeps saying. If you don't produce the right outcome, or if you don't integrate the correct lesson, you will have the experience again until you learn and grow and reconcile your energy so that you will be able to elevate. Okay? And all this is doable. All this is doable. And once you make it if it's your passion, this is easy, and when I say it's easy, like, yeah, you still have programming that you have to overcome, but this is the direction that you want to go. This is where you want to be. So you're in. You're all in. Your biggest struggle is working through your programming. But you know where this leads. You know what this is. It's beauty. It's being. Okay. So anyway, let's get back. And I don't mean so anyway, but we only got 12 minutes. Okay. So, use your desire to benefit your journey. I talked about that. So forgive. Release all baggage. Let go and let God. And I spoke to that earlier, but you have to forgive. You got to let it go. All that's doing is hurting you, hindering you, holding you back, weighing you down. The only person impacted is you adversely. Now, you might have an effect on someone else's energy, which is even worse, because now your burden is exponentially worse because you're negatively adversely affecting someone else's energy. So you got to let it go. It's holding you back. It's holding you down. And when I say holding you down, think of that ladder again. You are hanging out there with ignorance and insecurity because of baggage, because you refuse to forgive, because you will not change, you will not let go. You cannot understand that it is you that need to change and grow. You are holding yourself back and down. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Release all baggage, let go and let God. Grow and flow with nature. Grow and flow with nature. Good old nature. Oneness, balance, cyclical growth, harmonious action. This is what Taoism is all about, okay? Grow and flow with nature. Growth stems from faith. Faith, when you know you have no problem opening yourself up to experiences and to understanding them and benefiting from them. You welcome the experiences because now you are an observer. Yes, you knew you always participated, but now it's like, okay, I can actually, I see myself in this experience, and it's like watching a movie. You learn the lesson when you just You watch yourself. Okay, I know how I should behave in this way. I've had this experience before. The last time I didn't handle it so well. So now I know what to do. If this is your first experience and you get it the first time, then you catch it on even quicker. You are in harmony because you are learning, integrating, growing, elevating, and enriching your consciousness and the experience that you will continue to attract. So faith is woo. Okay. So growth stems from faith and surrender and flow with harmony. Yes, we have the power to create, to manifest anything, and we do. And we do. Look at our life. If you like it, if you love it, great. If you don't, learn how to change it. Become the authority. Elevate your frequency. Grow from your experiences. ISness, NOWness, ONEness. So there is nothing outside of ourselves. Okay, so I am not separate from God. God is not separate from me. God and me is I. I am that I am. I and me is God. I am an expression of God. God is in me. The oneness is when we are in alignment, or when me is in alignment with I. There is no separation. Separation is an illusion. And the cycle of nature is growth, death, and rebirth. Separation is an illusion. Death is not separation. Death is it's the sign, it's the stage in which something has fulfilled its purpose. And it is time to disintegrate that energy and repurpose it. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but transformed and expressed. Okay, so faith plus harmony equals love. Faith. Now, faith people struggle with. Harmony too, but once you get faith down, listen, you'll be inviting harmony. You'll want harmony. But faith can be a process. Now, if you all in and you got faith, great. I'm not talking to you. If you got your faith down, if you have your confidence down, beautiful. But for those who struggle, and anytime you are living in fear and doubt, anxiety, stress, worry, depression, fret, that's fear. And fear and faith cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Love and fear cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Okay, so faith, for those who are working on, like I said, if you experience any of those type of emotions on a regular basis, or when things get tough, let's talk about developing, growing, building that faith. Like I said, if nothing else, just think about what the word means. Understand the definition of it. Faith is a confidence. It is a knowing, not arrogance. Arrogance is an insecurity. Confidence is knowing. And confident people know what I am talking about. Okay? But to grow your faith, you start by thinking about faith. And physically or energetically attracting faith, wanting to embody faith, wanting to integrate faith into your cells. So you start by allowing faith, the word faith, the sound of the word faith, your understanding when you read the definition or your understanding biblically, that confidence, that knowing that God is, was, and ever will be, that there is no separation, that no weapon against me shall prosper. Okay? Faith, confidence, knowing. To get to that point, you start thinking about that and you start trying to feel what it's like. Like I said, let it just start with the mind, entertaining the concept, but let that energy of the word faith shower your body, encapsulate your body, integrate into the energy, into the cells of your body. What does faith feel like when I try it on? If you are unfamiliar with what faith is. Okay? Believe, feel, trust, know. Know is experiencing something, first-hand experience, first-hand knowledge, first-person experience, first-person knowledge. Okay? The confidence. Faith is the confidence, the knowing. Then you demonstrate. You demonstrate that confidence. You demonstrate that faith because you know that all things, with God, all things are possible. There is no doubt. You're not concerned about the how. You are in harmony with nature, with the universe, with the flow of God's energy. You have submitted your will to be of service to God. How may I be of service? You may be called upon to ask someone to do something. You may be called upon to be asked to do something. But you just go with the flow. You receive messages. They become clearer. And you learn from your lessons faster. You expand your awareness. Your frequency raises one rung at a time. But you're actively participating. You are ready to grow. You want to learn from your experiences. You want to be the observer. You want to apply the right knowledge to the right action. You want the opportunity of expanded awareness, of an elevated frequency, so that you can have greater experiences. Expand your awareness, elevate your awareness. Oh, people, yes. The ISness. Be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46:10. So, getting back to faith and harmony equals love. We do everything in love. You start out with faith. you get to that knowing, that confidence, you will welcome, invite, you will dive head in to the flow of harmony. You will volunteer, willingly submit your will, surrender your will to God's, to be of service to God, so that collectively, so that you contribute to the collective consciousness to help elevate it. And you will continue to grow as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that hour. I got to go. I appreciate you. Do everything in love. 1 Corinthians 16:14. Thank you for joining the show. And until next week, practice intermittent stillness. I love you. And remember, we are one.